algebra every day, whether it's figuring out the least expensive brands to buy in the grocery store or calculating the length and width of a garden fence. In fact, you may discover that the more algebra you know, the more you'll notice it is everywhere. In this lesson, you will use equations to solve problems taken from everyday life. Take the pretest to generate a customized learning plan for this lesson.
This is the Anderson family. Mr. Anderson, their dog Waldo, Nelson, Mrs. Anderson, and Danielle. They, like most other families, often use algebra in their daily lives. What may surprise you is when and where they use algebra, and even who uses it.
We will see how different members of a family might use algebra to solve problems in their daily lives. Even before the Andersons' daughter Danielle leaves for school, she has a question that can be answered with algebra. Danielle asks her mother to compare their ages. Mrs. Anderson says that she is 30 years older than Danielle. Mrs. Anderson also explains that she is 4 times as old as Danielle. Before we can find their ages or solve other problems like this, we need to learn how to translate a problem from English to algebra. Studying algebra is similar to learning a new language with its own vocabulary and grammar. To see how some English expressions translate into algebraic expressions, use the English Algebra Dictionary. Click the tabs to browse through the dictionary. Your answers are correct. The word increased suggests addition. A number increased by 5 translates into x plus 5. The word product indicates multiplication. The product of 3 and a number translates into 3 times x or 3x. The words divided by indicate division. 8 divided by a number translates into 8 over x. The words 8 less than suggest subtracting 8. 8 less than a number translates into x minus 8. Now see if you can translate the statement below. You may click any part of the statement to see how it would appear in algebra. 2/3 of a number is the number decreased by 5. Now let's use the language of algebra to solve a number problem. Find 3 consecutive integers whose sum is 81. We translate from English to algebra one step at a time. Solve for x. X equals 26. So x plus 1 equals 27. And x plus 2 equals 28. Checking back in the original problem, the 3 consecutive integers, 26, 27, and 28, add up to 81. Here is another number problem. Find 3 consecutive even integers whose sum is twice the third number. List the quantities to be found. Use English phrases. A first even integer, the even integer which follows it, the third even integer. Represent these quantities algebraically. X, x plus 2, x plus 4. Write an equation that describes the problem. X plus quantity x plus 2 plus quantity x plus 4 equals 2 times quantity x plus 4. Solve the equation. X equals 2. Check that the numbers work in the original problem. The sum of these three even integers is 2 plus 4 plus 6 equals 12. 2 times the third number is 2 times 6, which is also 12. Your answer is correct. The smallest integer is 43. The numbers 43, 44, 45, and 46 are 4 consecutive integers whose sum is 178. Here's an equation that translates the problem into algebra. We can also use algebra to solve age problems. Danielle asks her mother to compare their ages. Mrs. Anderson says she is 30 years older than Danielle. Mrs. Anderson also explains that she is 4 times as old as Danielle. Let's find their ages. List the quantities to be found. Use English phrases. Daniel's age, mother's age. Represent these quantities algebraically. X, x plus 30. Write an equation that describes the problem. X plus 30 equals 4 times x. Solve the equation. X equals 10. Check that the numbers work in the original problem. If Danielle is 10, Mrs. Anderson, who is 30 years older, is 40. So the mother is 4 times as old as the daughter. Your answer is correct. Let the age of the color TV now equal X. Since the black and white TV is 3 years older than the color TV, its age is 3 more than the age of the color TV. So, the age of the black and white TV now equals X plus 3. 5 years ago, the age of the color TV was X minus 5. 5 years ago, the age of the black and white TV was X plus 3 minus 5. 5 years ago, the black and white TV was 4 times as old as the color TV. So, the age of the color TV now is 6 years. Here is a summary of problem solving. To use algebra to solve a word problem, follow these steps. List the quantities to be found. Use English phrases. Represent these quantities algebraically. Write an equation that describes the problem. Solve the equation. Check that the numbers work in the original problem. You may want to take notes in your journal. Your answer is correct. 2 years ago, Jessie was 10 years old. Let Jessie's age now equal X. Then Nigel's age now equals X plus 7. Jessie's age 2 years ago equals X minus 2. Nigel's age 2 years ago equals quantity X plus 7 minus 2 equals X plus 5. Jessie is 12 years old now, so 2 years ago she was 12 minus 2 equals 10 years old. That's correct. Here's one way to get the answer. Let the smaller number equal X. Then the greater number equals X plus 5. 2 times the greater number equals 3 times the smaller number. 2 times the quantity X plus 5 equals 3X. 2X plus 10 equals 3X. 10 equals X. So the smaller number is 10. Your answer is correct. The largest of the three integers is 14. Let the smallest integer equal x. Then the second integer equals x plus 1. The third integer equals x plus 2. The smallest of the three integers is 12. So the largest of the three integers is 12 plus 2 equals 14. Your answer is correct. The two integers are 7 and 57. Let the smaller integer equal x. Then the larger integer equals 9x minus 6. The smaller integer is 7. So the larger integer is 9 times 7 minus 6 equals 57. Excellent. Let the smallest of the three even integers equal x. Then the second even integer equals x plus 2. And the third even integer equals x plus 4. The sum of the integers equals twice the smallest of the integers. So the three consecutive even integers are -6, -4, and -2. Your answer is incorrect. The garden is 5 feet wide and 20 feet long. Let the width of the garden equal x. Then the length of the garden equals 4x. So the garden is 5 feet wide and 4 times 5 equals 20 feet long. Your answer is incorrect. The rectangle is 10 centimeters long. Let the width of the rectangle equal x. Then the length of the rectangle equals x plus 6. The width of the rectangle is 4 centimeters, so the length is 4 plus 6 equals 10 centimeters. Your answer is correct. Each side of the pentagon is 8 feet long. Let a side of the pentagon equal x. So each side of the pentagon is 8 feet long. Your answer is correct. The length of the rectangle is 30 meters. Let the width of the rectangle equal x. Then the length of the rectangle equals 5x. The width of the rectangle is 6 meters, so its length is 5 times 6 equals 30 meters. Your answer is incorrect. The rectangle is 5 inches wide. Let the length of the rectangle equal x. Then the width of the rectangle equals 4x minus 7. The length of the rectangle is 3 inches, so the width is 4 times 3 minus 7 equals 5 inches.